ಬಜಹುರೇ ಮನ ಶ್ರೀನಂದನಂದನ ಅಭಯ ಚರಣ ವಿಂದರೆ. ಬಜಹುರೇ ಮನ ಶ್ರೀನಂದನಂದನ ಅಭಯ ಚರಣರವಿಂದರೆ. ಬಜಹುರೇ ಮನ ಶ್ರೀನಂದನಂದನ ಅಭಯ ಚರಣರವಿಂದರೆ. ದುರ್ಲಭ ಮಾನವ ಜನಮ ಸತ್ಸಂಗಿ, ದುರ್ಲಭ ಮಾನವ ಜನಮ ಸತ್ಸಂಗಿ, ತರಹೋ ಯೇ ಭವ ಸಿಂಧುರೇ, ತರಹೋ ಯೇ ಭವ ಸಿಂಧುರೇ. ಬಜಹುರೇ ಮನ ಶ್ರೀನಂದನಂದನ ಅಭಯ ಚರಣರವಿಂದರೆ. ತಪ ಬತ ಬರೀಷನ ಯೇ ದಿನ ಜಾಮಿನಿ ಜಾಗಿರೆ. ಶೀತ ತಪ ಬತ ಬರೀಷನ ಯೇ ದಿನ ಜಾಮಿನಿ ಜಾಗಿರೆ. ವಿಫಲೆ ಸೇ ವಿನು ಕೃಪಣ ದುರಜನ, ವಿಫಲೆ ಸೇ ವಿನು ಕೃಪಣ ದುರಜನ. ಚಪಲ ಸುಖಲ ಬಲಾಗಿರೆ, ಚಪಲ ಸುಖಲ ಬಲಾಗಿರೆ. ಬಜಹುರೇ ಮನ ಶ್ರೀನಂದನಂದನ ಅಭಯ ಚರಣರವಿಂದರೆ. ದನ ಯೌವನ ಪುತ್ರ ಪರಿಜನ ಹಿತೆ ಕಿಯಾಚೆ ಪರಾತೀತಿರೆ. ಯೇ ದನ ಯೌವನ ಪುತ್ರ ಪರಿಜನ ಹಿತೆ ಕಿಯಾಚೆ ಪರಾತೀತಿರೆ. ಕಮಲ ದಲ ಜಲ ಜೀವನ ಟಲಮಲ, ಕಮಲ ದಲ ಜಲ ಜೀವನ ಟಲಮಲ. ಭಜಹು ಹರಿ ಪದ ನೀತಿರೆ, ಭಜಹು ಹರಿ ಪದ ನೀತಿರೆ. ಬಜಹುರೇ ಮನ ಶ್ರೀನಂದನಂದನ ಅಭಯ ಚರಣರವಿಂದರೆ. ಶ್ರವಣ ಕೀರ್ತನ ಸ್ಮರಣ ವಂದನ ಪಾದ ಸೇವನ दास्य रे श्रवण कीर्तन स्मरण वंदन पाद सेवन दास्य रे पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन पूजन सखी जन आत्मनिवेदन गोविंद दास बिलास रे गोविंद दास बिलास रे भजहु रे.
Thank you very much, Ishwar Krishna Prabhu, for playing a wonderful song. And the other devotee who is joining later, we were chanting from 2 o'clock, and I think the mother Anjaneya Anita Mataji also joined around 3 o'clock. And then she posted on the chat box that, Prabhu, it's a shocking news that my Bobby's brother living in New York, only high 40s, he left behind the good wife and twins, 11-year-olds. So we pray to Krishna to bestow his kind mercy upon Samir Patel, who left his body in the early morning around 3:40. And Mataji just heard the news, and it was nice to see that Mataji constantly stay on the line and chanting, and she wrote me that she felt so relief to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the association of devotees to give her the strength to take that news. So our life is like that. Govinda Das says, Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Talamala. Bhajahu Haripada Niti Re. Always we should worship and chant Hare Krishna, because our life is on the little drop of water on the lotus petals. Little wind can disrupt and fall down. So our life is like that. Our Acharya said that if we have inhale, then we don't know even we will be able to exhale. So this is our temporary life. So that's a wonderful narration from the Jaiva Dharma. Before we read the Jaiva Dharma, we would like to offer our humble obeisances at the desk of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that he has been so kind, taking all his time, sleeping only 2.5 hours a night, writing all this literature for all of us to guide us properly and to awaken this love that we have in our heart. We have not yet explored that love. Once we touch that love, then all these things in the material world will look us worthless. No attachment or no attachments. So this instruction is very nice. So Vrajanath is asking wonderful questions, and according to our purification, we will understand. But don't worry, we will keep on reading it, and as we purify it, we will get more and more understanding on this subject matter. So Brajanath is asking, what does to follow the bhav chestita mudra mean? And Raghunath Das Babji replied, intrinsic to the permanent bhav of a nitya siddha, there are chestita, specific aspirations, which thereby manifest certain activities of devotional service known as mudra and vyavhar. Seeing these activities, the sadhaka aspires to perform the same activities in his service to Krishna. For instance, a devotee following Nand Maharaj in Vatsalya Rash, overcome with bhav, aspire to perform the same activities as those of Nand Maharaj in his service to Krishna. However, the devotee must never take himself to be Nand Maharaj. Shubha or Raktaka must but must remain subservient to the Nitya Siddha whom he is emulating and meditate upon, and thus inculcate that bhav in his own service to Krishna. The aspiring devotee commits a serious offense if he imagines himself to be the Nitya Siddha whom he is emulating. Brajanath, which type of Raganuga Bhakti are we eligible to practice? Wonderful question. Raghunath Das Babaji, my son, you must analyze your own partiality. Your spiritual temperament will mirror your ruchi, and that ruchi will guide you to your favored transcendental ras. Surrender to the Nitya Siddha stalwart of a particular ras of your own choice. Try to imbibe his or her bhav, and thus practice Raganuga Bhakti. If you have developed a relish for Raga Bhakti, follow it with activities that are appropriate and supportive. If you have not yet developed firm and steady attachment for Raga Bhakti, sincerely pursue the regulated path of Vaidhi Bhakti with full confidence in its eventual fruition. Vijay. Gurudev, I have been studying the Srimad Bhagavatam for a long time, and I'm always eager for an opportunity to hear about the pastime of Sri Krishna. Whenever I meditate upon the wonderful deeds and frolics of the Lord, certain emotions are stirred up within me. I strongly feel the desire to serve the divine couple in the mood of Sri Lalita Devi. Raghunath Das Babaji. Yes, I understand your mood. You are a Manjari under the guidance of Lalita Devi. To what type of service do you aspire? Vijay. I feel that Sri Lalita Devi wants me to string flower garlands. I would like to pick beautiful flowers, string garlands, and lay them in the divine hands of Lalita Devi. Upon receiving them, she will flash me a brilliant and merciful smile and gently slip them around the beautiful face of Srimati Radhika and Sri Krishna. Raghunath Das Babaji. I bless you, my boy. Let your endeavors for such devotional service be consumed in spiritual perfections. Having been showered with such a blessings, Vijay Kumar was overwhelmed and fell at the feet of Raghunath Das Babaji, weeping profusely, very pleased with the sincere mood of devotion of Vijay Kumar. Raghunath Das Babaji said to him, my son, continue your practice of Raganuga Bhakti in this manner. Always execute the Vaidhi Bhakti limbs externally, but cultivate intense Raga Bhakti within. Brajanath was inspired upon seeing the good fortune of Vijay Kumar and Raghunath Das Babaji's demonstration of compassion. So he said to Raghunath Das Babaji, quote, Maharaj, whenever I meditate upon the pastime of Krishna, an urge to serve Krishna under the guidance of Subal strongly compels me. Raghunath Das Babaji, what devotional service attracts you the most? Brajanath, together with Subal, I imagine myself to be running after the straying cows of Krishna's herd and bringing them back to the fold. Krishna sits there playing his flute, and Subal next to him, then asked me to take the cows for feed and water, and afterwards bring them back to Krishna. Raghunath Das Babaji, I bless you to show Krishna under the direction of Subal. You are eligible for Sakya Ras. Then a miracle happened. From that moment on, Vijay's heart throbbed with anticipation, waiting for the slightest indications to perform any service for Lalita Devi. He saw Raghunath Das Babaji with a new understanding as the manifestations of Lalita Devi in person. Vijay asked, are there any further instructions regarding the Raganuga Bhajan? We see in spiritual world very little service where we have to render, enjoy wonderful serving in a very nice way. It's not that we have to do so many things. That's spiritual world. Raghunath Das Babaji replied, you have received most of the information. Nevertheless, there are other details you must know pertaining to your spiritual identity. Your name, your form, your dress, etc. Come to me alone and I will reveal them to you. Vijay Kumar then prostrated himself before his Guru in deep gratitude. On the other hand, Brajanath saw his Guru, Raghunath Das Babaji, from that moment on as the manifestations of Subal. Raghunath Das Babaji also asked him to come alone later so that he could be given the details of his spiritual identity, his name, his form, his dress, etc. Similarly, Brajanath prostrated himself before his Guru and offered heartfelt prayer at his lotus feet. That evening, fully absorbed in Raganuga Bhakti consciousness, Brajanath and Vijay Kumar felt indescribably elated. Externally, as they continued their life as usual, no visible changes could be seen. In their hearts, however, Vijay Kumar developed the transcendental female sentiments of Braj Gopi, and Brajanath nurtured the spiritual temperament of a Braj Gopa, young cowherd boy of Braj. Like a miracle, all this internal adjustment took place just within moments of receiving a pure devotee's mystical touch. It is, of course, true that everything had already been there in a latent form. Late that night, Vijay Kumar and Brajanath begged leave from Sri Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj and walked slowly toward the Bilwa Puskarini lake, chanting the Mahamantra upon their tulsi beds. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Moonlight flooded the countryside, revealing purple shadows in the landscape. The air was still and welcoming. Upon approaching the Lakshmana Tila Mount, they sought the silent shadow of an amlaki tree and sat down. Vijay Kumar inquired softly, well, Brajanath, our wishes has been fulfilled. You will surely receive the mercy of Sri Krishna by the grace of such a pure Vaishnava. Here and now, it is best to decide upon your future course of action. Tell me honestly, what do you want? Marriage a life as a mendicant. I do not wish to influence your decision in any way. I merely want to know so that I may explain the facts to your mother. Brajanath, Uncle, I respect and love you. Moreover, you are a scholar and a Vaishnava. In the absence of my father, you are my guardian. I'm ready to accept anything you say. The reason I want to avoid marriage is because I fear I may become materially attached and forget the spiritual goal. What is your opinion? Vijay, you must consider all aspects and come to a conclusion, but without my interference. Brajanath, I strongly feel that I must discuss this matter with Srila Gurudev and then act. Vijay, that is the best idea. We will find out the instructions of Srila Gurudev on this tomorrow. Brajanath, Uncle, what have you decided? Are you planning to remain in your household or go on traveling? Vijay, son, I'm also faced with this dilemma. Sometimes I think I must emancipate myself from the flames of household life and go on an endless pilgrimage. But the next moment, I think that this might steal my heart. Bhakti Rasa does not blossom in an arid heart, and I do not want to be deprived of this ras. Therefore, I also have made up my mind to find out the truth from our Gurudev tomorrow and then follow his orders. With these firm decisions, they stood up and murmuring softly the Mahamantra walked slowly back to the house where they honored prasadam and lay down for a night of rest. Thus ended the 21st chapter of Jaiva Dharma, entitled Nitya Dharma, Sabandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana, Part 9, Abhidheya, Raganuga Sadhana Bhakti, the practice of spontaneous devotional service. Hare Krishna. So we will be embarking on chapter number 22, title Nitya Dharma, Shabandha, Abhidheya and Prayojana, Part 10. The initial discussions of Prayojana, the highest goal of life, by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, translated by His Grace Sarva Bhavana Prabhu. So as it was Ekadasi, the Vaishnava had assembled in Shiva's Angan under the Bakul tree and were performing a melodious kirtan. Many cited loudly the names of Sri Nityananda and Sri Gauranga in blissful joy. Amidst all this, the elderly Sri Raghunath Das Babaji Maharaj sat pensively, steeped in meditation. After a long time, he suddenly exclaimed, quote, "Alas, alas," and tears streamed down his cheeks. He sobbed, oh, where are my beloved Rupa and Sanatan? And where are my Das Goswami and my dearest soul, Krishna Das Kaviraj? I'm cast into the lonely well of separation and feel most despondent when I think of Radha Kund. I feel unbearable pain. My life is slipping away. Oh Rupa, oh Raghunath, have mercy. Let me see you once again. That will return me to life. How can I still live in your absence? My life is but a disgrace. After saying this, Raghunath Das Babaji began to roll upon the ground, finally coming to rest of his back. Rushing to the supine Raghunath Das Babaji, the Vaishnava tried to placate him. Quote, Babaji Maharaj, please calm down. Rupa and Raghunath are in your heart. And just see, Sri Sri Nitai Chaitanya are dancing before you. Raghunath Das Babaji immediately stood up with surprising alacrity, inquiring, where? Spotting the beautiful deity form of the Panchatattva upon the altar. His distress dissipated and his composure returned. He said, O blessed Mayapur, you are the only place upon the earth that drives away the pangs of separation felt in the absence of the Lord's pastimes. He then lifted his arm, swaying in gentle dancing movements. Finally, he went and sat in his kutir, where Vijay Kumar and Brajanath later found him in a quiet repose. They fell flat before him in humble submission. Raghunath Das Babaji was indeed happy to see them and asked, how is your chanting and practice of bhakti? With folded hands, they replied, Dear Gurudev, your blessings mean everything to us. We must have performed innumerable pious deeds to have attained sanctuary under your lotus feet. In accordance with your instructions, we are observing Ekadasi fasting today without drinking water and have come to receive your blessings. Raghunath Das Babaji, you are truly fortunate souls. Very soon, you will be elevated to the platform of Bhava Bhakti. Vijay, Gurudev, what does the platform of Bhava Bhakti mean? Is this something you have not yet taught us? Raghunath Das Babaji, whatever I have discussed with you so far belongs to sadhana bhakti. After extended and tenuous performance of sadhana bhakti, a devotee is promoted through Siddha Vasta, the platform of perfections, whose first stage are known as Bhav Avastha. A description is given in first part of the 10th sloka of the Das Mola Siksa. Swarupavasthane madhura rasa bhavodaya iha vraje radha krishna swajana jana bhavam hrudivaham paranande pritim jagat atula shrampat sukam ato vilakshaye tatve param paricharyam salabhyate. The jiva attains his swarup. Somebody has unmuted their phone. Please keep your phone muted. The jiva attains his swarup when his sadhana bhakti mature. At this stage, the Ladini Shakti endow him with bhav in Madhurya Ras, honey-like nectarian mellows, as he aspires to become a servant of the one of the eternal associates of Sri Radha Krishna in Braj. Even whilst in this world, he is employed in unalloyed service to the supreme embodiment of the sublime bliss and experience ineffable exaltations. To attain this transcendental treasure is of unsurpassable value for the Jiva. The second part of the 10th Dasmula, 6th sloka, describe prema, the prayojana of humanity. As already explained, bhav is the initial stage of prema. Prabhu ka ko jiva katam idam achit vishwam itiva vicharyatan artan haribhajan krit chastra chaturaha abedasam dharmam sakalam aparadham pariharan harer namanandam pibati haridaso harijanai. Who is Krishna? Who am I, the Jiva? What is this inert world of matter? What is the transcendental spiritual world? The faithful devotee who is totally surrendered to the service of the Supreme Lord must review these questions thoroughly. Know well the pertinent scriptural conclusions and apply them positively. He will then completely repudiate the monistic philosophy of impersonal liberation, rise above the stipulations of pious and impious deeds, and cease committing devotional offenses. He must seek only saintly association. In that company, drink the immortal nectar of Harinam and thus experience inexplicable eternal joy as the servant of Sri Hari. So Dasmula Siksa is the magnificent bouquet of transcendental teachings compiled from the entire sets of instruction spoken by the Supreme Lord, Sri Chaitanya himself. Vijaya. Babaji, if possible, I wish to hear concisely about the glories of the Dasmula Siksa. Raghunath Das Babaji, take note of this verse from the Dasmula Mahatmya. Samsevya dasa mulam vaihitva vidyam ayam jana bhava pustim tatha tustim labate sadhu svangataha. By assimilating and emulating the teaching of Dasmula Siksa, the Jiva uproots the poisonous ivy of ignorance. Thereafter, in the association of saintly Vaishnavas, he nourishes the creeper of bhakti with bhav and experience rewarding satisfactions. So I think that's what we should stop. Always feel happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. And whoever you come across, give them a kind word that life also can become successful. So with those thoughts, this is a wonderful book. It's a help to those devotees also that they don't have the spiritual master in the physical presence, but our spiritual master is always present. Never feel that our spiritual master are not with us. If we are sincere, our Guru Maharaj will instruct us very nicely. So we should not lament that, well, how can I approach my spiritual master? He is not here. How can I get a guidance? He's always with us. If our heart is totally surrendered to the instructions of our spiritual master, he is always present with us and he will guide us. So with those thoughts, always remain happy, jubilant, and totally fearless. I was telling at the Texas A&M student that live a life that you want to live. Don't become a servant of anybody or the corporate world. Just become free yourself. Sit down quietly half an hour, meditate, see that what really you want to do in your life and pursue that path with no fear. It says, Hare Krishna, someone has again unmuted. So, if we want to become really happy, this is the way we should become detached. And our mantra for detachment is don't keep any mortgage. Even if you have to sell the house, sell it. And then whatever the equity you have, you buy small house. If you cannot buy even small house, stay in an apartment. This world is temporary anyway. You live in an apartment or you live in your house. It's the same thing. We just need to have some place where we can keep our soul and body together. That's all about it. So this is a wonderful thing. So with those thoughts, I would like to really appreciate all these wonderful devotees that they are, joining at 2 o'clock. We have about 7 devotees now that they are coming right around 2:05. That's so nice to see their dedication. So with those thoughts, I would like to offer my humble obeisances at the dusk of wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, taking so much austerity of their life and join in the morning to perfect the life. That's the goal of our life. As we see in the uh, Prabhu's life today that he left, when he went to the bed, did he knew that he is not going to wake up? But that's what it happened. Our life is very palatable. We have no security, but we think about hundred of years, how I'm gonna retire. Those kind of worry is totally useless. I give three main instructions to Grahastha, and I will repeat that. The first instructions that when the child is born, I have seen devotee always say how much they study. Now in today's world, it will cost so much X amount of money for education. Then they put it inflation into that. When your son is going to go to the college, they figure it out after 20 years, 23 years. Then they say, oh, tuition fee will be that much. Okay, so we have to, every month we have to start saving. This is not necessary. Krishna makes all the arrangement. You tell your children from the beginning, train them nicely, make them happy to go to the sleep at 7:30, let them wake up early in the morning, chant some rounds, and then study in the morning. They will do excellent, and they will get all kind of scholarship and everything. And even if they don't get the scholarship, let them take that loan. They are making so much money. Don't pollute them. Don't give them easy life. In the beginning, it should be a hard life. So we are preparing in our presence that you know for sure that they will be able to face difficulty when we are not on this planet. Service, do the service to your children. Train them, sit down with them with love and affection. They look, I'm not going to give you any money. It's your life. You study whichever you want. Get the scholarship or the loan, and you pay them back after you graduate. And if you don't study, you know for sure, give some example that this is the type of life you have to envision. Or if you want to change it, you have to work hard. And then live their life up to them so you don't have to save any money for their education. Then the biggest expense people spend $250,000, $500,000, even couple of $1,000,000, who knows, according to maybe $50 million on the marriage. I always say in Houston, you do the marriage in Gauranga Hall. It won't cost you more than $10,000. And this is the life should be. Train them to be simple. And most of the time, I guarantee you, You invite so many people. Not a single person is praying for their well-being. They do the gossip. They do the mundane talk. Just associate and they eat the dinner and go home. They may leave you some check, but that's about it. Nobody has any interest in the marriage. So why you want to spend the money? So don't worry about the marriage. And I was at the One Home program. They invited me and I was talking. And I said, they made me the seat on the sofa with the nice chadar on it. I said, no, I want to sit down with you all in the carpet. I'm not special. We are all in the same group. And then we discussed and I was giving them this advice. And when I say these two things, then the Mataji, one of the Mataji raised her hand and I said, Prabhuji, I have a question. I said, yes, go ahead. She said, how about retirement? I said, I was going to come to that point, but it's good that you asked me. I said, show me one family that they leave behind the debt, that they don't have any money in their account when they die. Most of I can talk about the Indian people at least, that they will leave behind 50%. They don't use it. They don't relish the life. They don't make the life easier. I don't know what after they are running, that up to the age, they always say, when I talk to the common people, even my close relatives, why you want to keep on working, man? They say, well, we will get more benefit. I said that calculation is totally wrong. I don't know why, but when I want to retire early at age 62, at that time the retirement age was 65. So I went to the Social Security and I said, I want to retire at this time. How much the benefit I will give? So they quote me whatever, $1,200, $1,300. And then I said, if I work until 65 or 66 full time, how much I will get it? I think the difference was less than $200. I don't know if people say, oh, there is a huge difference. I don't know. You may want to check these things while you are working. So then I calculate that if I retire at 62, and suppose they are going to give me the retirement full at 66, I will have to work 4 more years. Now, if I retire and if I get $1,200 a month, I'm making $15,000 a year. For 4 years, I already made $60,000 in my bank. Start earning some return. And then to catch up the $60,000 with accrued interest and whatever investment, say it may have reached $80,000. Now, if you get $200 more, suppose that's what they told me, I remember. So $200 to catch up that $80,000. Just think about it. Use that $2,400 a year. 80,000 divided by 2,400. Just let's use our calculator. Krishna is so kind that on the cell phone also you have a calculator. 80,000 divided by 2,400 per year. I have to live 33 years to come to the equal level. Now maybe, there may be like a $400 or $300, but still you can say 20 years. And how do you know you are going to live 20 years? This is, and you talk to, I have one of the relative, his financial planner. And when I talk like this, he said, you haven't understood anything, you do whatever you want to do. I said, okay, that's fine. But I feel, check it out yourself. Don't follow the crowd. You create your own life the way you want to live. Krishna has given this life, that you want to live. We have very short lives compared to other ages. And we want to live also happily while we live. Why want to have, we have to be so punctual. You know, I talk to so many IT guys, they cannot join on time because they have an assignment and they were working until midnight, 1 o'clock. How long are you gonna do this? My advice to the IT guys, I have never made more than 50,000 in my life. I have completely fulfilled all this responsibility as a Gruhasta. I never took any single money from my father's property. I give it to my brother and sister. I say, I don't need it. I have that goal of 42